Perhaps no incident captures the post-Civil War mood towards Native Americans better than the massacre at Wounded Knee. The Native Americans had been attempting to recapture some of their cultural heritage after the Dawes Act had tried to strip so much of that away through assimilation. One of the efforts is known as the Ghost Dance. The Ghost Dance was a traditional dance that would have honored ancestors. Some people in the Native American community actually saw this almost as messianic, that there would be a leader that would emerge that would help Native Americans defeat the encroachment of the white settlers. The military would have been aware of this notion of the Ghost Dance, that it was sort of a initiator of battle. The military was in the Plains territories because of the Indian Wars. They would have been keeping track of the Native Americans as they gathered to perform these ceremonies. Probably the biggest gathering at the time was going to take place at Wounded Knee, South Dakota. It was a little spontaneous, and there's a bit more to it than this, but the gathering happens in Wounded Knee. The cavalry is surrounding the Native Americans for a number of different reasons that we don't need to get into. The Native Americans begin to perform the ceremony. There was a shot that was fired. We're not really sure where from, but we do know that men, women, and children are going to be slaughtered as the cavalry open fire, partially because of this fear that this would lead to a large Native American uprising. Men, women, and children are killed. Eventually, they're just going to be buried in a mass grave. It's called the Massacre of Wounded Knee now. At one point, it was called the Battle at Wounded Knee, although it really wasn't a battle. The Native Americans had been disarmed earlier in the day, for the most part, in tent-to-tent searches by the cavalry. At the end of this process at Wounded Knee, the Native Americans have been foiled again at their attempt to recapture their culture. They are left with no voice in the American democracy because they're not really considered citizens. They are poor and destitute and